In today's gaming news, Halo 5 Guardians is revealed, Transistor launches next week, and WildStar's PvE raids promise to be punishing. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. My name is Force, here with your day's gaming news. First up today, the next official major installment in the Halo franchise has been revealed as Halo 5 Guardians. The game will be launching in the fall of 2015, and not this fall, but over a year and a half away. And the reason for the delay is they want to try to get this right. In fact, the Halo franchise director, Frank O'Connor, said that this is a much bigger game in terms of the scope and scale and size in what is already quite a large Halo universe. On top of that, they're working with a brand new engine for the next-gen console, and they want to get it to 60 frames per second. They're going to try to make sure they've got dedicated multiplayer servers. Essentially, all of this is boiling down to the fact that they want to do Halo right. I'm excited. We don't really know much about the game other than it's gonna run at 60 frames per second. It'll be large. And they want to do it right, and that's pretty much it. Next up in news, another upcoming game that I'm really excited for is Transistor. Transistor is a sci-fi action RPG from Supergiant Games, the same company that brought you Bastion, and the game features Red, who is a singer with a magical sword trying to evade assassins and solve a mystery. I'm sort of very reductive about the story there, but I'm really excited for this game, honestly, solely because I loved Bastion. I loved the art style, direction, just the gameplay was very good, and they had a fantastic narrator who's also coming here in Transistor as well. So I'm just all around looking forward to this. It's an action RPG. There's supposed to be some tactical pausing that you can do in the middle of combat to sort of survey the battlefield and figure out what you want to do. The story, it seems all right. I'm sure it's great, so we'll have to check that out. That is coming out next week. It's launching, I believe, on the 20th is the exact day, which is just 5 days from now. And there's also, the main reason I'm even bringing up the game right now is because a launch trailer was just revealed, so you can give that a look. A link is available in the video description below. And last up in news today, I've been playing WildStar quite heavily for the past week or so, and I was really excited to see their recently released video talking about raiding in the game. Now, one of the things that I've really enjoyed the most so far about WildStar has been the PvE group experience, specifically the level 20 dungeons that I've tried. They themselves have been challenging, but raids are supposed to be on an entirely new level. So they released a video showing off and talking about some of the craziness that'll happen in raids, and also recently they did an AMA over on Reddit in which they talked about things like the difficulty of boss fights as well as the levels themselves being a challenge. They said that they won't admit defeat easily when it comes to their 40-man raids, and that's a structure they want to stick to. They talked about how in rage timers, one-shotting people are lame, and they rather have things like there's a boss fight where over time the floor just falls out from under you, so you need to kill it before then, or you're just left with less real estate to fight the boss on, which makes things more difficult when the AoE and stuff comes into play. And then I think another thing that they mentioned, just the simple fact that raids are hardcore. Raids are for the hardcore, and if you're not hardcore, GTFO is pretty much what they said. They've made it really plainly obvious that this is going to be a challenge. They are not catering to the casual. Now, there will still be content for casual players, and that will be the 5-man. I think there's also just regular 20-man, but the real high-end, best loot, and most difficult stuff is gonna come from the 40-man raids. And if you want to do that, number one, you got to find 39 other competent people. Number two, get ready to get your butt whooped. I'm really excited for this, and it's not like difficult raiding content isn't available, because there are varying levels of difficulty in WoW's raiding content. But I think just the fact that the level 20 dungeons that I have been so challenging to the point where if every member of your group is not paying attention, even on trash packs, you can and you will wipe. The game features this thing called interrupt armor, in which multiple interrupts need to be cast for one to actually go through. And a lot of times it requires every single member of your group to cast an interrupt for it to actually apply to the target. Mechanics like that, plus the telegraph system, where if you don't avoid some telegraphs, they will one-shot you and your group. It just all around, the PvE has been fantastic, and I'm just talking at level 20. That is it. I have not even experienced the first raid in this game. I'm excited. It's going to be challenging, and it's also a lot of fun. The PvE that I've done so far has been incredibly intense, requiring your full attention all the time. You're always moving. You're dodging attacks. It's really enjoyable. That's all I have to say, and I can't wait to try these raids when the game launches in, what is it, like two or 3 weeks from now? It's going to be an exciting time. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of the feed. Actually, there's one last thing, a couple of extra stuff I want to let you know. The International 4 prize pool for Dota 2, it reached $5 million. Yep, that's crazy. And then also Far Cry 4 was announced and revealed will be coming November of this year. So that's something else to look forward to. And that is going to do it for today's episode of the show. Please, guys, as always, let me know what you think in the comment section below about any of the topics discussed here today. What do you think about Halo 5 Guardians? Are you looking forward to it? What would you like them to do to make sure they do it right? Do you plan to check out Transistor next week and WildStar Raiding, WildStar PvE? Have you tried it? Do you enjoy it? Or is it a system that you just don't think you're interested in? Let me know your answers in the comments below, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. Once again, this has been Force, and you have just been force-fed. Hate to break it to you guys, but raiding in WildStar is not for scrubs. I'm sorry. That means I can't do it. Son of a...